I'm happy to introduce Tom Aicklen from Infrastructure Ontario to the stage. Tom is Vice President in Infrastructure Ontario's Commercial Advisory Practice. He currently leads IO's Digital Twin initiative, seeking to bring widely established modern digital infrastructure practices to provincial priority projects. Tom previously led the development and execution of Ontario's accelerated high-speed internet program, supported by the government's nearly $4 billion investment to connect all regions of the province to broadband by the end of 2025. He has built strong partnerships across a wide range of delivery partners in the private and public sectors to ensure optimal projects outcomes are achieved and value is delivered to Ontarians. Prior to his time at IO, Tom served as a director of business operations at Point Click Care, where he led various strategic projects, including several large-scale software implementations. Tom started his career in the aerospace industry as a research and development engineer at Pratt & Whitney, Canada. Tom holds an MBA from the Ivey Business School at Western University and a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering from McGill University. So I'd like to welcome Tom to the stage. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Nzinga, for that really nice intro. I'm excited and humbled to have the opportunity to be presenting to you today at the Future of Construction event. Before I'd like to start, I want to give a shout out to Sharna Arnott and the rest of the Building Transformations team for putting together such an impactful agenda, as well as Luigi Lacorte, who's been a great source of inspiration for this keynote today. The insights shared at the conference today are invaluable, and I'm confident we will all be able to apply what we learned here around industry challenges and solutions with our teams and organizations. Okay. So Nzinga, you did a pretty good intro for me. I'm Tom Aicklen. I'm Vice President Commercial Advisory at Infrastructure Ontario. Infrastructure Ontario, or IO, for those of you that don't know it, is a crown agency of the provincial government of Ontario. We act as the procurement and commercial lead for a significant number of public infrastructure projects in Ontario. I lead IO's Digital Twin initiative, and it's looking to leverage digital tools to improve project outcomes across the asset lifecycle. I also lead the administration of our Broadband One Window platform, which is helping to expedite the delivery of high-speed internet across the province by providing a secure platform to delivery partners to collaborate and share information. Having seen firsthand the impact of innovative technology in my previous roles in healthcare and aerospace sectors, I'm personally interested to see how using innovative technology, the power of government, and broader change management efforts can create value and better outcomes across provincial infrastructure projects. So just to give an overview, I'm going to start with a bit of background and context setting, some challenges and opportunities that we see in the infrastructure space in Ontario, as well as share some context on technological innovation or innovative technology. Then I'll get into some of the work we are doing at IO related to this. So talking a bit about our Smart Buildings program, as well as our Digital Twin initiative. And then finally, I'll wrap up with some lessons learned that I've taken over my last 4.5 years at IO, as well as a bit of call to action to this group. So it's no surprise that Ontario is confronting several substantial infrastructure challenges that are critical to our province's future and sustainability. I mean, we're all in Toronto. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the construction, a lot of congestion in traffic. We're undergoing one of the largest transit expansions in North America, hopefully reducing some of that congestion in a number of years and promoting more sustainable urban mobility. We're also seeing unprecedented housing demands and development, a lot of increased immigration, increased population, house prices going up, rent going up. And so we're going to need innovative and creative solutions to address those challenges in the future. We also have about $185 billion worth of public infrastructure renewal and expansion that'll be undertaken over the next 10 years. This includes upgrading things from schools, roads, hospitals, things that are essential for Ontarians' quality of life and sustaining that going forward. In addition, we're investing significantly in broadband infrastructure to ensure that we bridge the digital divide. and that folks across the province can participate in today's society, especially in rural and remote areas. At the same time, we're seeing an economic imperative to drive increased productivity and growth, as well as modernize our government services that reflect today's digital economy. I think these challenges are significant, but also present a lot of opportunities. And I think we can address some of them by using innovative technology and several other adjacent tools or methods, working towards a more efficient, connected, and resilient province. So as an organization that's responsible for a significant portfolio of provincial assets, IO deeply cares about technological innovation, and we see several advantages as to why owners and other stakeholders should care about this. I'm going to go over kind of 4 categories today. So starting with future-proofing of assets, by adopting advanced technologies, we can extend the lifespan of our provincial infrastructure, making it more adaptable to future demands and reducing the need for frequent replacements. This future-proofing is crucial as it allows us to build assets that can evolve with changing needs and technologies. Another important one, cost savings. So innovative technologies like digital twins can enable more efficient construction and maintenance processes. Underpinning any digital twin is really solid and quality information or data. By providing more accurate information up front, for example, during a procurement, we can give bidders the data they need to reduce overall project costs, minimizing disruptions like utility conflicts, and reducing the need for rework. Sustainability is another critical benefit. So smart technologies and data-driven solutions can optimize resource usage, reduce waste, and lower carbon emissions. This not only helps protect our environment, but helps us meet regulatory requirements and expectations for a greener infrastructure. Technologies like digital twins and real-time monitoring systems can improve our ability to respond to and manage risks by providing real-time data and predictive insights. For example, this allows us to have better decision-making during operations and maintenance, early detection of potential issues on equipment, ultimately reducing the likelihood and impact of failures. There's numerous other benefits, though these are a few I'm looking to focus on today and hopefully helps prime a broader conversation at the event. So I know the words technological innovation is a bit broad and generic, but in order to better understand your thoughts on the topic, I was hoping to take a poll and get your perspective on things where we can capture the most value as it relates to technological innovation. I invite you to think about it not only from the perspective of contractors and owners, but also as taxpayers and broader society. There's a few options listed on the screen. You can use your phone to scan the QR code and submit your response. Please take a moment to think about these areas and choose the top 1 or 2 you believe have the most significant impact. And if you have additional thoughts, there's another category where you can enter kind of some other reflections. At the end of the presentation, we'll spend a few minutes reflecting on the responses. I'll leave it up for one more. Oops. Now I'm going too forward. How do I go? Okay. All right. Cool. Sorry, I'm not doing it properly. Okay, there we go. So I want to highlight 2 areas where IO is focused as it relates to technological innovation. We're seeking to leverage technology to build critical infrastructure faster and get the most value out of our province's asset portfolio. So the first area I want to focus on is our Smart Buildings program. This initiative sits under our real estate division, integrating smart technologies into our buildings, optimizing energy efficiency, while seeking to understand, sense, and predict the needs of buildings and occupants. By using data from various building systems, we create an ecosystem that adapts to the needs of the building and its users in real time. The second is our digital infrastructure practice, which I'm a part of. This focuses on implementing digital solutions across our projects to improve project outcomes. One of the key areas here is our work on infrastructure-focused digital twins. There's lots of different definitions of digital twins, though at IO we are defining a digital twin as a virtual representation of a real asset or process that, enriched with analytics, can act as a single source of truth to support dynamic decision-making. We also categorize them into network or neighborhood twins. A neighborhood twin, think of like a hospital, a courthouse, a correctional facility, like a single asset, and then we have network twins, which would be like a utility network, a transit network. And the idea is that you could build an ecosystem of those twins and ideally gain benefits and value from connecting them together. I want to share a bit of context that demonstrates how these programs are transforming our approach to infrastructure development and management and are helping us stay ahead in an ever-changing socioeconomic setting. IO's smart building programs is improving the management of the province's real estate assets. This initiative is a cornerstone of our efforts to enhance operational efficiency, reduce environmental impact, and optimize energy usage across the government's real estate portfolio. IO's real estate property portfolio contains about 4,000 owned and leased buildings, totaling 42 million square feet, as well as about 600,000 acres of land. These buildings house about 80,000 public sector employees, and the upkeep of this portfolio is managed by BGIS, who is IO's real property services provider. Under that portfolio, we have 68 smart buildings, and there's plans to expand this number to 250 by the beginning of 2026. This program covers about 7 million square feet, so about 1/6 of the portfolio, and includes critical buildings such as 911 call centers and courthouses. These buildings generate about 130,000 points daily from 14,000 pieces of connected equipment. And this is really critical to monitoring and optimizing performance and producing a real-time understanding of building operations. Importantly, the payback period for these smart building investments is about 3 years, underscoring the financial viability of smart technologies in our infrastructure. Now I want to share a brief case study that illustrates the tangible benefits of the Smart Buildings program. 4 courthouses across Ontario were designated as smart buildings with the objective of reducing energy usage and greenhouse gas emissions. Specifically, a courthouse in London introduced several key measures to improve operational efficiencies. So first, they advanced the control and monitoring of HVAC equipment. This included real-time adjustments to operation settings and optimized schedules based on occupancy, weather conditions, and time of day. Second, they optimized system performance using tools such as fault detection and diagnosis, ensuring all building systems operated at their optimal efficiency. This includes maintaining proper temperature, humidity, and airflow levels without overusing energy. Lastly, they ensured the interoperability of integrated building systems such as synchronized schedule of lighting and HVAC systems based on occupancy. These targeted actions yielded impressive results. So comparing a baseline from 2018 to 2019 to 2021, 2022, we saw approximately a 20% reduction in energy usage. This reduction not only lowers operating costs, but also contributes to our sustainability goals by reducing the courthouse's carbon footprint. I know this is one example, but imagine multiplying this across the government's real estate portfolio. The collective impact on energy savings and sustainability could be significant. As we continue to expand the program, we're thinking about how we can integrate smart building technologies with our digital twin initiative. For example, our smart buildings provide real-time data from various sensors and systems that can be fed into digital twin models, providing accurate, dynamic, and up-to-date virtual representations of the physical buildings. This integration could enhance our ability to proactively address maintenance needs, optimize building performance, and extend asset lifespans, ensuring our infrastructure remains resilient and sustainable for the future. So our journey into digital twins started actually with 2 other initiatives. The first is called the Office of the Utility Coordination, which was developed in partnership with Metrolinx. And this was looking to prevent utility strikes and conflicts on several high-priority transit projects. This was accomplished using a variety of inputs into basically a Power BI dashboard. So, basic enough, but a foundation of solid information from GIS data, JIRA data, and other solutions. And it was enabled, this data sharing and compulsions was enabled by authorities granted in the Building Transit Faster Act. We then, more recently at the beginning of the pandemic, moved into our Accelerate High-Speed Internet program, and similarly was trying to use rules plus technology to accomplish an objective. ASIP arose during the pandemic when most folks were living from home, working from home, participating in school or other activities remotely, and access to high-speed internet was critical at that time. This program complements several other government programs such as Aicklen and UBF, and several innovations were required for this program to be successful. It included a unique reverse auction approach, legislative and regulatory changes that enable transparent data sharing, and a comprehensive digital platform, Broadband One Window, to share information, track progress, and ensure contract compliance across delivery partners. Really, the learnings from both these initiatives laid the foundation for our digital twin initiative, which is looking to create digital trust across the full asset lifecycle, and I'll explore further in subsequent slides. So by implementing digital twin technology and practices, we anticipate numerous sources of value that can significantly benefit the province and make its public infrastructure projects more competitive and attractive investments. For example, digital twins can help deliver capital projects at a lower cost. By using detailed simulations and predictive analytics, you can optimize construction schedules and allocate resources more effectively across projects. Second, leveraging existing infrastructure more effectively allows us to avoid large new builds and capital expenditures. This approach helps us make the most of what we already have, reducing the need for costly new projects, such as providing early, timely maintenance to existing road, highway, and bridge infrastructure. Third, digital twins enable us to shape where new capital expenditures will be most efficient and integrate them into the system seamlessly. For instance, we can use real-time data to identify where, when, and how to build underground infrastructure utilities, ensuring they connect smoothly with existing networks and meet growing demand effectively. Think about it in the context of additional housing being built and housing development to keep up with this population growth. Additionally, digital twins play a role in mitigating risk and associated costs of project overruns. For example, as part of our Accelerated High-Speed Internet program, we have used topographical data to map the location conditions of existing poles or rights-of-way to help ISPs determine the appropriate construction approach, ultimately saving time and money. Lastly, digital twins can accelerate the planning cycle. This means we can iterate more quickly and make better decisions on where investments are made. For example, the province invests in quite a lot of water infrastructure across municipalities. Imagine you had access to holistic data on the state of repair of those assets, and you could collectively optimize or simulate where investments are best placed across the province to ensure adequate, the infrastructure meets the demand required. These advancements are expected to incentivize more organizations to participate in our procurements and make investments in our projects. Increased participation will help Ontario de-risk project delivery and ensure smooth execution and strong outcomes. Ultimately, the broader application of digital twins could position Ontario as a leader in innovative infrastructure management with the potential to drive substantial economic growth in the province. So digital twins can generate value for stakeholders across the asset lifecycle through different use cases, from planning, design and build, to operations and maintenance. On the screen, you'll see a few different use cases. As of now, we're focusing on the design and build phase, given quite a few projects in IO's portfolio are part of that phase in the asset life cycle. And we're focusing really on utility coordination and adjacent site development as use cases. Recently, the government announced an investment in exploring the application and benefits of digital twins. And this investment is being funneled into several different projects managed by IO, which I'll briefly summarize. The first is the Aicklen Crosstown West Extension. So it's an extension of the existing LRT, about 9 additional kilometers. And a digital twin there could potentially support the design of new stations, reducing the frequency of underground asset conflicts, and also serving as a model for any related transit-oriented development. IO has a transit-oriented development, transit-oriented communities team, and so having a map with accurate information, or digital twin with kind of accurate information along the corridor will help them plan as they build out their transit-oriented communities. And then second is the Ontario Place rebuild, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about in the news. And the idea with a digital twin here is to support site servicing and support kind of the project as it goes through its life cycle, all the way to operations and maintenance, given it's a project that IO will own for quite a while. In parallel to this work, we're also partnering with the Ministry of Infrastructure to explore how to more broadly develop a digital twin ecosystem and scale to realize the full benefits on the projects we're involved in. Those projects I mentioned, we're building proof of concept or basically demo digital twins to highlight the art of the possible, but ideally you'd want to scale that to a solution where we're actually getting value out of the twins on these projects. We're also focused on building strategic partnerships and to really learn from what others are doing. We've partnered with organizations in academia like Toronto Metropolitan University, as well as in the venture capital space. So our labs, who's focused on housing development solutions. And we're also partnering with the Geospatial Commission in the United Kingdom. This partnership enables us to share knowledge and technology behind their National Underground Asset Register, which is really a digital map of underground utility infrastructure, and I'll speak to more detail on the next slide. So in the UK, the Geospatial Commission has pioneered the development of a digital twin or digital utilities map called NUAR. This digital map includes comprehensive information from all major energy and water utilities. Ontario is also exploring the potential of building a similar solution, recognizing the immense benefits of having a detailed, accurate, and accessible digital map of our underground assets. The UK is estimated for every pound invested, there's about 30 pounds of benefits over several use case categories, from safe digging, on-site efficiency, site planning, to the exchange of data. NUAR alone is estimated to carry a value of 490 million pounds per year. Imagine the potential economic and operational benefits if we were to adopt a similar approach in Ontario. It's important to note that the UK uses NUAR as a supplement to existing locate processes, not as a replacement, and this ensures that the digital map enhances current practices without disrupting established safety and operational protocols. The potential to build a digital twin for underground assets similar to NUAR presents a transformative opportunity in Ontario. It aligns with our goals of enhancing infrastructure development, improving safety, and maximizing efficiency. So as part of our proof of concept development that we're undergoing, we're going to continue to explore with project stakeholders, industry, and other key delivery partners on how to implement digital twin best practices and leverage local and global partnerships, including in the NUAR program, to support delivery in Ontario. So I want to share a bit about what we've learned kind of over the last 4 to 5 years on some of these programs or initiatives we've gone through. Provided some key insights that it's not just about technology. There's a number of other factors that are critical to getting value out of these projects rather than just the software that goes with it. So to start, I'm going to use examples from our broadband program to really illustrate the 4 of these learnings. So starting with setting clear and bold goals, ASIP, our broadband program, arose during the pandemic when access to internet was crucial to participate in society. Without any sort of intervention, it was noted that it would take probably till 2032, 2035 for the rest of Ontario to get connected. It was about 12% of the population. And so our goal was, how can we accelerate this our goal has been end of 2025. What are incentives we can put in place to get stakeholders working together to meet this goal? So setting that clear, bold goal and sticking to it throughout the project really helped all stakeholders stay centered on the outcomes and brought us success in that program. Secondly, having good data or enough data to clarify and frame the problems to the market. We used existing data and machine learning to identify the true broadband gaps across the province, and this detailed analysis allowed us to efficiently allocate subsidy across geographic areas for auction, ensuring we address the most critical needs first. Also, feedback from the industry was that it wasn't just about money, it was about the rules and processes to actually go build the infrastructure, like getting access to municipal rights of way or pole attachments was a big challenge for just meeting timelines. So using working groups with industry, we gathered that feedback and developed new rules and regulations to enable certain service level agreements for pole access and rights of way access, as well as included resources for municipalities and other stakeholders who needed them to meet these commitments, which really helped us accelerate this entire process. And then finally, enabling entire sectors to share data, embrace change, and drive towards outcomes. Relationships are at the root of any innovation. The greater the innovation-related disruption, the more important the relationships. Utilities, municipalities, internet service providers, construction contractors, and others all participated in this collaborative process. Their collective efforts have been essential in driving progress toward the goal of getting Ontario connected. Applying these learnings and similar actions will enable us to continue to innovate and improve our infrastructure projects. So I want to wrap up my presentation by leaving you with a question or a call to action. What if the entire built environment across the asset lifecycle was digitized? And when we talk about the entire built environment, we mean digitizing the asset at every stage, from planning to procurement, design and build, and finally operations and maintenance. Imagine having all the related asset data accurate and up to date that you could use to model and inform decision making. This could significantly enhance transparency, reduce risk, accelerate decision making, and improve efficiency across all phases of the asset lifecycle. And here are a few things my team and I are thinking about. So the scale and scope of value available. Imagine the potential scale and scope of value that could be realized by fully digitizing our assets. This includes understanding the time, cost, and value benefits that come with having a detailed and accurate digital model for planning all the way to O&M. For example, with comprehensive data, we could optimize schedules and resources to lower the cost per square foot of buildings, operating and maintaining the infrastructure asset, and more timely project completions. We're also thinking about moving from centralized to fully decentralized data ecosystems. So inspired by blockchain-like systems, we're interested in creating fully decentralized data ecosystems. This involves generating digital trust at the source, eliminating the need for intermediaries. For example, think of a permitting process where permits are created on a distributed blockchain ledger. This could automate and secure the process, allowing stakeholders to access accurate data whenever needed. And we envision applying similar structures to digital twins to ensure data reliability and accessibility, driving more secure and scalable modes of data sharing. And then finally, as I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about, the practical uses of generative AI to automate tasks and make decisions. For example, really simple, when operating and maintaining a provincial building, AI could detect when a light bulb is about to go out or needs replacement, automatically order new ones, and schedule the maintenance for those to be installed. Similarly, in construction, AI could dynamically adjust construction schedules and resource allocation based on real-time inputs from adjacent projects, optimizing efficiency and reducing delays. These areas of exploration highlight the transformative potential of fully leveraging innovative technology. I encourage all of you to think about how we can apply these insights in our own projects. Together, we can drive innovation and efficiency across the entire built environment. Thank you. I'd like to open the floor for a brief Q&A section and reflect on the call to action as well as the survey question from earlier. Thank you. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, go for it.
Sure, I've got a question. All the talk about the technology and advancements that are currently going on. I'm curious to know how technology like Starlink, for example, disrupted any plans that you had, or whether it was incorporated, and what happens in Infrastructure Ontario when there's a disruption? Are you able to pivot, and what's the playbook for when a disruption occurs?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, great question. As I'm sure you're all aware, government can move. I mean, sometimes it moves fast, but other times it's a process for approvals and making changes. Interestingly enough, for our broadband program, there's lots of folks in rural and remote areas where, getting them internet access is going to cost, $50,000 to $100,000 get them connected to fiber infrastructure. So, as part of the program, we did think about, can we, leverage satellite service to get these folks connected? And it came down to, without sharing too many details, a lot of the time it's actually getting the other company to work with you and figuring out what approach is going to work for both government as well as the private sector organization. And ultimately, we pivoted because we were going to connect using either fixed wireless or fiber to all the premises that we had tagged in this program, but we had developed a satellite procurement approach, and we didn't do any sort of direct deals. I think what we'll do typically, and more generally, is if there's an idea like that someone comes to us, it's like, hey, can you use this technology and as part of your projects? A lot of the time we'll have to, take that idea, develop a bit more research, and then a lot of the time run a competitive procurement to actually go and secure it versus doing direct deals. But I think government is quite open to innovative ideas, new technologies. It's just about what's the approach to actually securing a partner to do that and apply it, I think.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reza from National Research Council of Canada. For those who are not familiar with NRC's activities in construction, we are currently running a challenge program on digitalizing and decarbonizing the construction sector in Canada, and the federal government has allocated $70 million to make this transformation for Canada. And one of the initiatives that we are looking into is to develop guidelines and best practices for the industry to help them make this transformation. So my question is about this, and would you see any gap in available best practices, guidelines for you to implement these digital technologies in your projects? Thank you.
Yeah, so typically, I guess for us as IO, we'll try and do, before we go out and, I don't know, implement a new practice or technology, we'll do a lot of jurisdictional research, see what other countries are doing, try and take the best of, you know, what we've learned and speaking with other folks and just, you know, more general research that we'll sometimes hire out. But I think, you know, we're not the leaders in implementing technology or, you know, solutions. Like we're trying to learn from others, bring on partners who can help us, you know, undertake these efforts and guide us. So I think there's no real like playbook, I'd say, for how we do it, but it's more seeing what best practices are out there that others have already taken on and how we can take advantage or leverage those.
Hi, I'm Ricardo Cosentino from Atkins Realis. We have a significant presence in the UK. In fact, we helped the Geospatial Society build the newer model. The lesson learned from the UK is that they really pushed innovation and they created a Center for Digital Build Britain that helped over the years foster innovation and help industry and academic and government coming together to really push these technologies and these innovations. Is Ontario looking at doing something similar? Is that something that Ontario is looking at to try to replicate what was done in the UK?
Yeah, so I think we're looking at different approaches. And as I was mentioning, there's this whole approvals process to actually go and make the decision to go implement a specific approach. But I think we're definitely looking to what the UK did, you know, as part of NUAR, the Center for Digital Build Britain, and figure out, you know, let's look at all the best practices or, you know, insights we can take from that would be best applied to what we're doing in Ontario and see how we can replicate that. It's definitely an ongoing discussion and something we're going to look at over the next 6 to 8 months. But ideally, we don't want to start from scratch and do something completely new. Like let's take what others have been successful with. And so we are definitely looking at what was done in the UK, and that's our partnership with the Geospatial Commission. Having that MOU with them is really beneficial in us having those conversations and getting kind of the details that would help us make those decisions. Okay. All right. If there's no other questions, I know we did that poll. So it looks like reducing maintenance costs and downtime was kind of where the greatest impact to technological innovation, as well as enhancing sustainability and environmental impact, and then enhancing real-time monitoring, predictive analytics. I guess, does anyone have any comments on those categories or want to share anything related to how they think those impacts would materialize? If not, it's okay. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you very much for the time today. Really appreciate it and looking forward to the rest of the presentations today. Thank you.